Hello and welcome to Digitized Desperadoes, episode 24. This week we did 007 Goldfinger.
Yeah.
Goldfinger.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm very curious as to what you guys thought about this, because on my rewatch of this, I actually liked it. I was kind of hesitant because it's one of the older movies, but yeah.
Yeah,
This is definitely quintessential Bond sexism and all.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Unfortunately.
I looked into it a little before we get into opinions. This was the third James Bond movie and the first to be considered good.
Yeah, the first one I don't even remember that well, and I don't even know what the second one is. I forgot.
So apparently the budget, if you take the first two movies and combine their budget, you get Goldfingers. Which just shows you how a lot more care was put in this film. I really enjoyed this movie.
Thank God.
Way more than View to a Kill, for sure.
You see, that was the trick. You show him a bad Bond film, and then you show him a great one, and then it's like the juxtaposition. It's like jumping off of a... I don't know. It's
the opposite of what I did with Godzilla, where I made you guys watch Shin first, and then
I saw Mitch's mistake, and I took advantage. No, I didn't know. I actually used to like View to a Kill, but yeah. I rewatched.
How'd you feel, Mitch?
All right. I've seen like a chunk of it before, like the back end of it. I've seen. I think the first time I've actually sat down and seen the whole thing in one go.
Yeah, it seems like that kind of movie that you would see a lot on TV.
Yeah,
I have. Like there was a point where I'm like, okay, I know what happens from here on out.
This is one of the... What? Sorry.
I feel like it's a good kind of TV movie to catch when it's airing. You know, it's fun.
Yeah, no.
It's slower, but there's a lot of scenes that you can catch that are great.
Yeah, you don't need to know the whole plot or care that much to enjoy it, you know?
Yeah. If you catch the ending, you're like, oh shit, James Bond is handcuffed to a bomb. I don't know what's going on, but I know he needs to get out, you know?
And then a guy with a hat.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just say, we can go through a little bit more depth, but this has one of those pathetic deaths in like any movie I've ever seen.
Two very pathetic deaths.
When the girl gets hit with the hat in her neck, and there's no blood, there's no anything, but she just disappears. They carry her off like she's alive.
Snapped, I guess.
She never appears ever. Well, why would her neck snap? It's implied that the
it's a very strong hat.
The hat is bladed. Yeah. It cut through a fucking statue. Actually, why did it not cut her arm off or whatever it hit? Because honestly, if you can get cut through a statue, why can't you cut through a person?
It hit her neck, and it didn't leave any mark, and I couldn't tell if she was dead or not.
But then she doesn't appear again, so one can only assume.
I think the reason is because they wouldn't be allowed to have a complete decapitation, and I think it was 1964, so that would have been too much.
Well, it's funny. It's kind of weird how this game. Oh my god,
dude, what the fuck?
Hey,
that was just me.
We can get on to the game. We can get on to the James Bond games eventually.
It's funny how this movie does a lot of weird, tricky, like fake outs with the Bond girl. Like first, you have the girl in the cold open okay, that one was great because Bond is like making out with her, but then he looks into her eye. And in the reflection of her eye.
Oh no, okay, not the opening in Miami, the first scene. Yeah, no, that whole fight is so goofy.
And then he takes her and throws her against a human shield.
Yeah.
Which was so cruel.
Like, Bond is such an asshole.
Oh yeah, I just have a note here, now I found it. Bond just used that woman to defend himself.
Well, you have that one. And then you have Jill, who is the woman who is golded.
Jill Masters. Oh yeah, she got golded. I think the Mythbusters actually did a thing on that to see if it's possible to die from that or not.
They tested that. They tested the Odd Job hat, which doesn't work because
of course.
But then you have, I believe, Tilly Masterson.
Yeah, her sister, who is who almost kills Bond.
Accidentally.
Trying to kill Goldfinger.
She almost flipping Nick Cage from Face Off.
Yeah.
James Bond. Yeah.
Which is kind of great. Like, I thought she was a villain at first.
Yeah, that's what I assumed was, she's a goon.
But then she dies to a hat like bopping her on the head.
Yeah.
Yep.
I really enjoyed it because it was just dumb.
And then you have the real Bond girl.
You know she's the
Say
real
it with
Bond
me.
girl because of her name.
Pussy galore.
Let me say, I smiled every time any character said her name.
Oh, there are so many moments where they're just like, "Oh, hey, pussy."
Yeah,
Yeah, but
there's
Sean Connery's the way Sean Connery pronounces it, it's like pussy, and it's like it's really good. It's really good.
pussy galore.
It's a treat. I enjoyed. I mean, her character is surprisingly resistant to Bond. Like she's just bad for most of the movie.
Yeah.
But then he
They
rapes
wrestle
her
in
in a
a
haystack.
barn.
I found that scene weird.
It's definitely
Yeah, no,
rapey.
Yeah, they're like
It's
judo
he's,
flipping
like,
each
turning
other
her
in the
hands around his
barn,
throat,
and it
like,
doesn't
trying
sound like they're
to
having
choke
fun.
No, it's
trying to
very
choke him out.
rapey.
As he's
I think
leaving
I
for
wrote,
the kiss.
Mr.
Like,
Bond, what are you
Bond,
doing?
that's
That's
sexual
rape.
assault.
Actually, I think my note was basically that too.
Yeah, my note just says, "Bond, that's sexual assault." She is trying to choke him out as he leans in for the kiss.
Yeah, I said Bond and Pussy Galore judo flip fight. Bond, what the fuck?
It was the 60s. Bond was an asshole.
That's one
But
of the
what
things
I-
I think they did way better over the years.
Well, what I was kind of
He drinks a lot, he's sexist, and he makes puns about people dying all the time, even when they're his friends.
What I kind of liked is that he seems dangerous. You know,
What do you mean?
like he doesn't seem like a goofy dude like a View to a Kill. He seems like a dangerous. Like,
Oh yeah,
operative,
definitely.
You know?
Oh yeah, no, I just
I
remembered
really liked
the beginning of the movie. Are we gonna not talk about the scuba suit with the bird on the head?
Dude, James
Oh,
Bond. This is the first one I think the Q gadgets
scene
get crazy.
before, but I was like, oh, I didn't know it was in this one, and it's the first thing you see.
Yeah.
Is
And then
Bond
he
with
takes
a
off
bird
the
on his
suit.
head.
Yeah, and then he takes off the
scuba
dry
suit.
suit and he has the tux underneath, which I'm pretty sure they did in Lupin the Third after this. Didn't they?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They did that in Cagliostro.
Yeah.
Yep.
And also, I have to let you know that the first episode of Lupin the Third, the '70s anime, not the pilot, the first episode, features the flippin' tied to a board and have like a laser.
Oh yeah, that is
Yeah,
the most famous.
When I saw that, I'm like, oh, this is like.
That is
super
the
iconic.
origin of the Bond
I
capture.
know.
Like,
But
And
it
it has
also
the
had
I expect you to die line. It's
no,
like,
Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
like,
Such a
there's
good
so much in
line.
this movie that's just like this quintessential, like, iconic stuff that like basically makes the series going forward.
but also
Like, this is the building block.
the first episode of Lupin the Third, additionally, has an excessive fixation on cars.
Yeah.
Why do they like cars so much? Why does everyone care about what brand Bond's car is?
I don't know. I think it was a brand deal or something, but also Aston
And
Martin
only
is like kind of a luxury
brand deals
car or
now.
something like that.
If your car is in Bond and Bond drives it, that's money.
It is.
Yeah, but also this is a funny Wikipedia fact I read. The Bond's car from this movie was made into a toy, and it was one of the best-selling toys of the year. Just
Honestly, that would be awesome.
Yeah, no, this is the debut of the.
Did it have
Aston
the ejector
Martin,
seat and
that goes on
everything?
to be like Bond's most iconic car.
I saw a picture, and I think the only thing it has is the ejector seat.
Oh, that's great.
Oh no! and when
This is
you
the
use
first
it,
time.
guy
Yeah, because this is the
barely
third
even
movie. I think
pops
this is
out
the
of
first time they
seat.
do anything with the car.
Yeah, like when he does the ejector seat, and the guy like doesn't really fly that far at all. He just kind of gets pushed out.
That was great.
What I think it was probably a practical effect of some sort. So
The whole car chase is really fun.
yeah, this is when they're when Bond's at the melting factory, right?
Yeah, and they're just driving around in the woods, and it's here's Bond doing all the neat gadgets that Hugh told him about earlier. He does the smoke screen and the oil slick and the machine gun.
One thing I noticed about that scene though is at the end of it, Bond crashes his car, right?
Oh yeah, no,
the car doesn't break. The wall does.
Yes, it's clearly a fake wall.
Yes, and it kind of just buries the car, and then Bond is like unconscious.
Yeah.
Yep. That was weird, but
gets knocked out so many times in this movie.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I noticed about this
one
movie,
chop to the back from
Bond kind of does nothing in this movie.
He stops the... Wait, no, he doesn't even stop the nuke. Oh my god.
He doesn't.
He kills Oddjob, and that's about it.
It is. Well, I guess he kills Goldfinger at the end, but
yeah,
anyone could have done
death
that.
Is just oof.
It's great.
It's technically not gonna happen. Technically, would never happen, but it's amazing.
It's like
oh yeah, I should probably. I wanted to go a little bit more organized, but this is fine too. I love Goldfinger himself.
He's a great man.
So he's just that.
I mean, he's a terrible man,
over-the-top
he's
Bond
great.
Villain.
And also,
I am
I gotta
going
mention,
to nuke Fort Knox and keep all the irradiated gold, so I'll be super rich.
So his name is Auric.
Yes, I know. I saw that and I was like, "Oh, are you shitting me?"
Yes.
I did. As if the gold.
His name is Goldfinger.
His name is Goldie Goldman.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
And he dresses all in gold. He has a gold golf club. He has a gold gun.
Most of his female workers are blonde.
Yeah, I didn't even realize.
It's all blonde women in this movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's amazing. Yeah. There's a reason that all the Bond games like bringing him back, along with Oddjob.
I don't like Oddjob.
No, Oddjob's really fun in all the games he's in.
I felt Oddjob was like vaguely racist.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I mean, there's the one scene where Bond throws a gold bar and it hits
I love that part,
in the chest, and
he doesn't care. He just doesn't care.
It off.
He's definitely terrifying.
Is somehow invincible.
Yes. He fucking crushes a golf ball in his hand.
That was
Oddjob is just like weirdly superhuman, except he gets electrocuted and dies.
Yeah.
And also he's terrible at aiming his hat because he misses Bond like 3 times.
Well, he hit the statue because is a not moving target.
No, the statue was intentional.
Yeah, no, Goldfinger has like a fucking gold Walkman, or at least the thing he's using to talk to Telly, the first girl.
Wait, he's flipping.
That predates the Walkman.
Gold?
Or still, whatever it was, it was gold.
Yeah,
I don't
probably.
There's a scene where Bond talks shit about the Beatles.
Oh yeah, I have a note about that. Bond does talk shit about the Beatles.
He says the best way to listen to the Beatles is with earmuffs on.
Yeah.
It's like, this is, Bond, who I imagine even at this point is like British icon character saying, "Hey, Beatles suck."
Well, this movie was kind of how he became an icon.
Yeah.
I think people liked From Russia with Love too, but I don't know if that came out before or after this.
Yeah, I think that's the second one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah,
that one's a lot better than Dr. No.
This invisible nerve gas.
The flipping
so we don't have to do an effect. We can just have planes fly over, and then the soldiers.
Well, no, they explained that. That actually, okay. I hope that wouldn't have worked.
It's invisible, and I'm like, this is to save money.
No, they explain later that they didn't even use it.
Yeah, no.
No, they used a different one.
What?
The Bond
the initial
girl
stuff
switched
was
it out.
lethal and would have killed them.
Oh, I thought she just didn't use any.
No, she switched it out to like some non-lethal, like maybe sleeping gas or something. I don't know. But I didn't think they were cheaping out. I think they were just trying to show that it was impossible to avoid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like, what could they have shown? Like green cartoon gas? That would have been dumb.
Yeah, you could have had crop dusting.
I don't know if that would be safe.
Not like they cared.
I would have really disliked that, honestly.
Yeah.
Not like they care about the environment.
I like that scene. It went on a little long, but
yeah,
it was
no,
good.
I thought it was like a ridiculous all right, they had like a bunch of footage to use, and they decided to not cut any of it.
Here's tons of scenes of just extras pratfalling.
Yeah, it's just a whole extended scene.
Good at it too.
Yeah, but I did notice in the background of one of them, one guy was still standing by the end of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was like way in the back though.
There's some scenes where like there's helmets still on the ground and they're just kind of wobbling and rolling around.
I was looking around for people who were still moving after they fell, but they were good about that.
Yeah. There's there's literally only one scene where I saw one guy like way in the back, still standing.
it's pretty consistent.
Hey, maybe he stood up. Maybe he slept while standing.
Like, initially, when everybody woke up outside of the thing, I was like, were they just faking it? How did they avoid it? I was confused.
Yeah, they explained it later, but it took a while.
Initially you're like, huh? Shouldn't they be dead?
Yeah.
We should let's go back a little bit. So there's in the very early bits, there's not too much to talk about. A woman gets killed by being gold painted, which isn't legit. That's not, you can't kill someone with that, but it looks great. So Bond learns a bunch about the gold industry and decides to meet with Goldfinger. Well, I guess he offends him by making him lose a poker game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then they have this really passive-aggressive golf game.
Yes.
It goes for quite a good
where both
bit.
of them are just blatantly cheating the whole time.
It's really funny. It's really like tongue-in-cheek. Like it understands that this is really dumb.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. He was just being all cheeky with his caddy, and it was great.
Like, that's how you do meeting the villain and having like a little intellectual challenge between your characters.
I mean, yeah, they did that in.
Have them cheat at golf against each other.
They did that in View to a Kill with the horse.
Yeah, they do that a lot throughout the series. I think they do that a lot throughout the series. I think this is the first time they do it. I think because there's a lot of the times where Bond will meet the villain.
Yeah, but
in
this one,
without them like hating each other first.
Well, in this one, he walks up to him and he's literally like, "Hi, I'm James Bond."
He does that with everybody.
He doesn't.
Bond always tells everyone he meets that he's Bond.
Yeah.
Oh, he uses a fake name in a lot of View to a Kill.
Oh yeah, he does in View to Kill. I don't know why.
Know he's an agent.
I thought that was the standard. Honestly.
No, it's about half the time, I would say, because like he's very eager to go up to people and go, "Name's Bond, James Bond," you know.
I feel like it's a bad idea.
It is an awful idea, but he always gets away with it, usually.
Because most people don't know that he's actually an agent. They just assume he's a dude.
It's assumed that most people don't know the name James Bond is a secret agent name.
Right. Yeah. That's a good point. And then you have the whole scene in Switzerland where Bond sabotages the woman who is trying to pass him without knowing who she is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is very, very creepy. But once you realize,
I think he thought that she was trying to shoot at him earlier.
Yeah, he was right in that it was the sniper. But what if she wasn't?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think he was trying to kill her, but he was very, very close.
I thought he was trying to hit on her, which was like, come on. You don't destroy someone's tires to hit on them.
Also, mind you, this is the 60s. No airbag.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There was no airbag on that car.
Oh, man. I'm looking through my notes. The flippin' chase scene, right after this girl gets killed by a hat, and I have in my notes, sniper is defeated by hat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right after that, you get flippin' grandma.
Yeah, no, old lady with an MP40.
Yeah. That was so good.
She has better aim than all of those, like, goons.
She's got more experience.
Shots all over the windshield.
That was great.
Oh yeah, I did want to mention with the whole Bond odd job fight just comes off as very weird. Because there's no music. It's just Bond and Oddjob running around fighting each other.
Little...
Okay, it adds to the tension, in my opinion.
It needed some music or something.
Yeah, I feel like it needed something. I don't know about music. Maybe up the sound effects a little bit.
Maybe increase the count.
Bond gets thrown and there's like no sound. He just.
I would say increase the sound of the ticker on the bomb.
Yeah, that would have been good.
But it's just really strange. It's like pretty much silent.
Yeah, it is a strange choice for like the editing people.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like they just had the fight footage and just left it.
Yeah. One thing I do want to note is the Goldfinger's presentation. Looking back, it's really, really good. Like his whole setup in his room.
Yeah, it's really neat.
No, it's so like
he flips over to
so
a
much
pool
time
table
where it's all the stuff, moving parts in the room. It's like they're obviously just showing off. Look at all this work we did.
It's a really cool room, though. It's like he flips over this pool table, and there's like a freaking control panel on it. The skylights like close down. A giant map flips up, and then suddenly the middle of the floor is just moves over, and a model of Fort Knox comes out of the middle of the room.
I love it. It's just they're just showing off. Hey, look at all this practical effect work we did.
Well, because like that was high tech back then too.
Villain layer.
They didn't have any idea of what they were going to do for like screens back then. They didn't have proper, LCDs or anything like that. So they're like, I guess he's got a model of it now.
CG into some holograms or some crap.
Well, they didn't even have the idea of holograms usually.
Exactly. But it's it's like I do love that scene where it's just like, check us out. Look at all this stuff we did.
Also, James Bond's car just has a radar because GPS isn't a thing either.
And it's like a key part of the movie.
Yeah.
I was going to mention, I think reading over the Wikipedia page, I don't know how true this is, but I think it says the lasers weren't really a thing.
Yeah, also, I forgot, Goldfinger has a freaking laser cannon.
Lasers?
They use the freaking laser cannon on the door.
In the novel, it was just a saw, which I've seen in some stuff before.
Yeah, a saw is a very common
I'm gonna saw you in half. Yeah, that evil kind of plan.
Okay, so lasers didn't exist in 1959 when the book was written, and like legit high-powered industrial lasers did not exist when the movie was.
Yeah, I would assume so.
But lasers themselves, as a concept, existed.
Yeah,
which was a great idea. It looks amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes on to be parodied in like everything since.
I gotta say, for good reason, that scene is amazing.
It is a great scene.
It's this ultimate, like, usually I don't
it's
like
literally Bond cannot escape. He only gets out by like talking out of it.
Yeah, this is one of the few things where he doesn't use a gadget to escape.
Usually I don't like suspense where you know the good guy's gonna get out, but in this scene I was like, he literally has to convince the villain that he's worth keeping alive. Not worth saving, worth keeping as a hostage. Like, oh my god.
No, yeah, normally it's like, oh, Bond has like a laser in his watch or some crap.
That's because I haven't seen this in a while. I actually thought that's how he got out of it. I thought he had a laser watch or something in this one, but he doesn't.
But no, it's really well done where it's just, I have to talk him out of this or else I'm screwed because I can't get out of this.
And Goldfinger's performance is amazing. His line delivery is so good.
What, do you expect me to talk? No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
He's like kind of happy about it.
Yeah.
It's so good. Yeah, that's an amazing scene. But then you get flipping tonal whiplash because the next scene is introducing the girl.
Yep. No, because he gets knocked out with the trank gun, and then he wakes up and he
wakes up on a plane and Pussy Galore is there.
She's like, my name is Pussy Galore, and he's like, I must be dreaming. Nobody's name is Pussy Galore.
Nope, that's not even a fake name.
Yeah.
Like, it's the goofiest name in, like, probably the whole series.
I
mean,
it's close. I'd say it's close. I can't think of any on the top of my head. Jaws isn't that stupid of a name. It's a stupid character, but it's great. Pussy Galore is up there, though. Octopussy is one of them, I'm pretty sure.
That's a movie.
No, that's a character in the movie, too.
Wait, there's a character that's Octopussy?
Yeah, like, that's her nickname.
Why do you keep calling female characters pussy, man?
Octopussy is probably the worst one, in my opinion.
Well, the novelist, the guy who wrote the novels, is like insanely not good.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I found a list of some of the bad names. Plenty O'Toole.
Yep, Plenty. That's one of the ones where she's like, "Hi, I'm Plenty," and then he just goes, "Well, of course you are," or something like that.
Here's another good one: Holly Goodhead.
Yep.
That's horrible.
I've heard all of these, so it's not like shocking to me.
Yeah, I'm just listing them for
There's Xenia on a top.
That's a Golden Spy.
Yeah, that's Goldeneye. Yeah,
Dr. No.
Dr. No is the name of the first movie, and I barely remember it.
Yeah, I've not heard anything good.
Yeah.
I'm looking up wow, this list is really thorough.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Oh
There's some
boy.
very horrible names.
In Diamonds Are Forever, there are characters named Bambi and Thumper.
Oh, I vaguely remember that.
Oh my god.
And
Yeah.
we have, of course, Mayday, who I actually like.
Yeah, she's good. I like Moneypenny, and there's like a whole thing because she's like one of the few returning characters, Moneypenny, and it's like very obvious that she and Bond are made for each other in a certain way. You know what I mean?
Bond clearly cares about her.
Yeah, they're always flirting with each other. Moneypenny always wants Bond, but he never goes with her. And it's probably a great thing that he doesn't, because literally every single girl that Bond comes across, nothing good happens to them.
Well, in Goldfinger, more often than not, they betray him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the first one tries to get him killed. I guess the second one doesn't try to kill him, but he gets hurt because of her.
Generally speaking, the best thing that can happen to you if you're a Bond girl is that you are at the end of the movie and you're never seen in any subsequent movies. Because usually they betray him or are tragically killed.
Rest in peace, Mayday.
Yep.
She was a big hero though.
Mayday tried her best. What else do we have about this?
And
We haven't actually talked.
I noticed with this movie is once again like Bond's pretty much primarily in the U.S.
Yeah, this is U.S. They make a lot of U.S. jokes, so they're on a farm for some of it.
They're on a farm. They go to a fucking KFC.
Yeah, Felix and his buddy are just hanging out at KFC.
Yeah, and also Bond goes to meet the president on the plane, but is intercepted.
Yep.
Yeah, the other thing I kind of didn't care for is
an
just
American
how
soldier.
He literally just put on a suit and then shot his own
encounter
guys.
with Goldfinger, and it's like there's 4 minutes left in this movie.
It's good. I love it.
It wraps up so fast.
I just want to talk about how Goldfinger escapes by getting in the frickin' uniform.
Yes.
And he shoots his own guys, and none of the guys like on the US are like, hey, does anybody remember having a fat commander with a golden fucking revolver?
And the clearly not American accent.
Yeah.
Like, obviously Goldfinger and these guys are just very dumb.
Yeah.
And he just gets away.
It's great. I love it.
And then he shoots a window and he gets sucked out.
It's a really good Bond villain death.
For a second, he kind of gets stuck in the window, and it looks great.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I really like Goldfinger's plan. It's not the most logical thing to do, but it seems like such a villain thing.
But it's great.
Yeah. He wants
He's gonna nuke. He's
not using a nuke per se. It's a dirty bomb. Okay. It doesn't actually explode. It just causes radiation.
He's gonna use a weak nuke. That's the only way I'll ever
You can call it a nuke. Just call it a nuke. Basically, it leaks radiation to make that entire area completely unusable. I don't know if there's a direct explosion or not, but it's not about the explosion at all.
Well, it kind of seemed like it was going to kill Bond because
it would kill Bond because it would be very, very heavy radiation at one like very directed. But I think it also does explode probably. I'm not a bomb expert.
He's gonna nuke Fort Knox to irradiate all the gold, and so that when the gold is no longer irradiated in like 60 years, then it will be
way longer than 60 years.
It said 58. They said 58.
No, wait, 58? I thought his plan was just to make that gold completely worthless so that his gold would be more worthful.
That was
you're getting confused with View to a Kill and the microchips.
He was trying to take out a significant portion of the supply so that he would, demand.
Yeah. I just kind of realized this is basically just A View to a Kill, but better.
Yeah, you know what? I'll completely agree with that. It's significantly better than View to a Kill.
So yeah, there's like a lot of similarities with that. I mean, there's a lot of similarities between all the movies.
It kept my attention a lot better
than
like a lot of other movies I've seen, which is great. It's a good time.
Yeah, I was worried about that because, like, again, it's a 60s movie, and they're bad at that usually.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely.
Like 60s movies, a lot of the times would get so boring that they would bore themselves, and they'd have a musical interlude or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Graduate is the only '60s movie I can immediately think of, and that one keeps its pace pretty good. They do play way too much of The Sound of Silence, which is probably where the meme came from. Way back when.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
The only other
about all we have to say?
The only other note I have is that the clock ends at on the bomb at 000 or 007.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
It's cheesy. It's funny.
I love that.
I want to note a couple more things. First of all, the camera work in this is really good.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
There was only one scene where I was bothered by it, and it was when they were doing the horses, and it was really shaky, but that was it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, camera work is good. There's a lot of noticeable green screen during, like, when they're driving cars, but it's like, it's the 60s, you can't really help that.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention, in the car chase sequences, they very clearly took regular speed car footage and just sped it up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no,
that's a common trick they did back then.
Where it's like, it looks sped up, like when Bond, even like simple stuff like Bond taking off the bird hat on his like scuba thing, it really seems sped up when he throws it. Or
it
like
could be an artifact
when
of the fact
gets, like,
that it's
thrown into the bale of hay when they're fighting in the barn. It looks like she gets launched really far.
It could be that, or it could be an artifact of the fact that this was like remastered at some point. I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna mention at the last like 5 seconds of the Netflix movie, they give a screen that says this was retouched in 4K by such and such company. And man, does it show. This movie looks great for 1964.
Yeah, they recently, I guess, is this when they got it on Netflix? Like, is that when they did it, or what?
That was like last week, so if they did, then wow.
I don't know, because, it is much better than I remember it.
Sure.
Much better looking, because I had a DVD of this back in the day.
I gotta say, I think for once in ever, the Netflix version seems like the best way to watch this.
Well, when Netflix doesn't actually touch the content and they just remaster it, like take what was original and just use modern tools to make it again, or not make it again, but to like update it, then it's fine. If they don't actually do anything to the plot or anything like that. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is that all?
I think that's about all I have for this. Of course, the very end is James Bond making out with a girl underneath the parachute.
Yeah.
That's a very classic...
It looked uncomfortable.
What?
It looked uncomfortable.
It probably was. This is a very classic Bond maneuver, though.
Well, yeah, they do it in View to a Kill as well.
They do it in View to a Kill.
He bangs her in the shower.
Yeah, and they do something similar in Goldeneye, but I think just neither of them call for help. I don't remember. Like Bond doesn't tell her not to call for help. They just don't. I don't remember. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a surprisingly good movie. You'd think that when I say Bond doesn't do much, and like I don't really like Oddjob, but there's a lot of other strengths in the movie, like Goldfinger himself again, fantastic villain, really fun to watch. But the characters are just good. It's really enjoyable. Even throwaway characters like the two Masterson girls, like they're entertaining.
Yeah.
The performances are all really good. I actually really like Sean Connery in this. I thought he was very good as Bond.
Yeah. Because this is like early in Connery's run, because it's only the third movie.
Yeah.
And this is, but yeah, basically.
It's really weird seeing him so young again.
Yeah, because now you look at like present day Sean Connery, and he's very, very old.
Well, now you just think of him as like Indiana Jones's dad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, I think that's the only other thing I've seen him in.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what else is he in besides Bond and
I don't know.
Indiana Jones
I can't think
bad.
of anything now that I think about it.
He's
Hunt for Red
Bond and he's Indiana
October.
Jones Sr. That's it.
He was in a lot of really, really old, like 60s and 70s action movies that we wouldn't really.
Oh, he was in The Rock. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, that's right, with Nick Cage.
Yeah.
Where it's like implied he's Bond.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like implied he.
I don't know.
is,
I
like,
saw that
the
movie on
old
TV a while
Bond.
back.
I don't know.
I think I caught the second half of that movie on TV. Never mind.
But yeah, I guess all I have left to say before scores is just this is pretty much just like emblematic of the whole series. Like it's this is what Bond. This is the building block that like is used for the franchise going forward. It's like all the pieces are here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think I need to watch another Bond movie.
So I'm gonna show. There will be more eventually. I gotta because there's different eras of Bond, and each one has a really good one, and a really bad one. And each Bond is very different. So I'll put it at that. But it won't be serious. What?
Like in terms of each actor?
Yeah, each actor that plays Bond is very different from the last.
So we've got
like
Connery and we did
a Daniel Craig Bond is very different than a Sean Connery.
Daniel Craig Bond is Jason Bourne.
Plus or minus. Yeah.
That was the direction. They were like, wait, how do we make a Bond film now that Jason Bourne exists?
Well, let's make Jason Bourne.
Make him
but it's really good. Like, Casino Royale is
kick-ass.
very good. In my opinion, at least.
Okay, we're about done with this movie.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yep.
All right, ratings.
All right. I will give my score. So I really enjoyed this movie. I didn't have a lot of problems with it. It's definitely not the best movie ever made, and at 2 hours, there's some things you could cut.
Yeah, it does go for a bit.
But overall, a lot better than a lot of the other action movies I've seen. I'd give it 7.5, maybe an 8, maybe.
Yeah.
7 out of 10.
I want to give this an 8 out of 10. It's James Bond at its finest, or at one of its finest points. So, yeah. I guess that's all.
Okay,
Showdown. All right, next up is our big milestone 25th episode. And it's going to be back to the way it was when we started, with me picking a movie and Connor picking an anime. So why not do it all nice thematic and tie things back around? I'm picking a Guillermo del Toro movie. We're watching Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh, okay. I saw this in Spanish class, dubbed in Spanish, or I don't know if it was dubbed or not.
It's originally Spanish.
It is original. So I watched this in its original format a while back.
And it's on Netflix, so it's not like it's going to be hard. But
yeah,
this is generally like considered one of his best films, if not hit straight up just his best. Like I see it all the time, where people are like, "Oh, Guillermo's Spanish stuff is really good." So we shall see.
Yeah.
Time to get depressed.
Yeah. All right. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.